What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore Salestrina. Gentlemen, how are we?
Pretty good.
We're at the end of our road, gentlemen. Or, well, not the end of our road, but the end of the regular season road.
We're touching tips.
We are touching tips. But we do that all year, so.
The last time we can touch tips this year, unfortunately.
No, not the last. Well, for this year, yes. For 2024, yes.
For this year.
Yes. It is December 31st when we are recording this, so Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Oh, is it still? I love that you have the Bruins game on in the background. This is actually great. He goes, whatever.
All right. Week 17.
Is it still 1-1?
No, it's 2-1 Capitals.
Oh, Jesus, fuck, they suck. Yo, Juan Soto just hit a home run.
Juan Soto just hit a home run. All right, we had some really good games and some really, really bad games. So it was like
Cleveland-Miami was the worst game I ever watched. I know we don't need to start with bad games, but that literally was the worst game of football ever.
I mean, that game, the Baltimore-Houston game.
Baltimore-Houston was horrible.
The Seattle-Chicago.
City, Pittsburgh sucked. Chicago-Seattle was up there with fucking
one of the worst games of the year.
Miami.
I mean, the Chargers, Patriots. Even the Rams in Arizona was bad.
Honest to God, this has been a bad NFL season. I don't care. Like this, it just has.
I think it's been good. I think it's been better than last year.
I feel like we've had a couple down NFL years in a row. Like it hasn't hit like peak NFL.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not where we want it to be.
The year the Rams, so the back-to-back years of when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, then the Rams won the Super Bowl.
2 good years.
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
Like, crazy. Besides, I mean, it was boring that Jimmy G got to the Super Bowl. Actually, no, I'm stupid. I was going to say he got to the Super Bowl one of those years, but he didn't. Yeah, those years were great. I loved it.
And then what we did?
I don't know. Last year was pretty good, and then it just ended up being the Chiefs again.
Last year was all right.
The Chiefs, because the Chiefs weren't.
I think this regular season has been way better than last year. There's been way better.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's been ups and downs. The bad games are really bad, though.
I do agree.
When you said something about the Miami game being horrible, I don't know if there's. I mean, you can make arguments. I could argue that being a Miami fan this year has got to be the most frustrating team to be a fan of.
Well, think about how many easy games they've given away this year.
Well, I mean, obviously, the Bengals too, but I mean, they're on like a run. Miami's just been like, when you think they're going to come back and start doing good, they just look like drab as shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, think about what happened. Like, what would have happened if
flattest team, dude?
It's just funny with them too because their defensive range are all like top 8, top 7, and it's like you would think like, oh, now that Miami has a good defense, like they should be, a better team, and then their offense takes a step back, and Tua gets hurt for 5 games, and Tyreek Hill doesn't look like Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle's out for 4 days. It's like they just can't put all the pieces together. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of it is weird. It's like imagine if Tua didn't die halfway through the year, but
they would easily
had career years from Devon Achane, Jonnu Smith. Like they had some moments. I just think like I don't know. They just never were able to sustain it. I think.
There was just something like when Tua came back, it was still I didn't really believe in them. I don't know.
They're never going to be a team that wins it all, I don't think, the way they're currently constructed. I don't trust Tua to win 3 or 4 straight playoff games.
No, I don't either.
If they were to do that, they would have to get a 1 or a 2 seed.
Yeah, he's not going to Kansas City and then to Baltimore to win 2 playoffs.
That's what I mean. I'm not even talking about him playing in cold weather. I'm just talking about him. I don't trust him to win 3 road games in a row.
Yeah, no, I
also don't trust him to play in cold weather.
And then it's like
that too. I completely agree with that. But even if I separate that, like I don't warm their place in the AFC. I don't know.
Houston's in a dome, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think of dome, but like, yeah, I don't see him going to Houston and winning like a game. I don't see him going to LA where the Chargers play and winning a game.
Yeah. So, well, that brings up the question then. Do they trade for a new quarterback? Do they get rid of McDaniel? Like, what is their plan?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know if they get rid of McDaniel.
It's such a weird spot to be in when you're on a team that has the talent to compete for playoff spots, divisions, and on some days the best teams in the league. But if you're just a team that can't get over the hump, I don't know. It's like you're in an impossible situation. Like, do you just ride it out until all the talent's gone? Or do you really just tell all your fans, fuck it, we're giving up right now, blow everything up, and then you go through a 4-year rebuild?
If your goal is mediocrity, then yeah, I just fucking stay. I mean, that's what they've been for 3 years. They've been a middling team. They've been an 8, 9, 10, 11 win team. They can't.
Well, last year they had the 1 seed for the longest time, and then they ended so shitty. What did they start off like 8-1, 9-1? They finished.
They were like 8-1, and they finished like 12-5 or something like that.
They went 11-6. The Bills
11-6. So
yeah, because the Bills ended up coming back, won 11 games, and had the tiebreaker against Miami.
So I'm just with the mindset that if I'm them, like McDaniel doesn't do it. Like Josh McDaniel, Mike McDaniel is 4 of 18 on challenges in his career. 4 of 18. I get that's not the end all be all of coaching, but like if you can't get a fucking challenge right, then like all right, we got serious problems.
And I don't hate him as a coach. I just don't know if he's that guy as a coach.
He's probably an overqualified offensive coordinator. He's not good enough to be a head coach, but he's probably too good to be an offensive coordinator.
If he was on a team with talent and was the OC of that team, then he'd probably look like the best offensive coach in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
It's no good spot.
I don't think like the blame falls solely on him though, but I do think like
it feels like a collective pot.
Like, it does feel like a collective pot. I feel like if I were to make a pie chart, probably Tua would own most of that pie.
And that I don't even blame on him necessarily either. Like I don't think it's Tua's
I
fault.
do to a certain extent though. He has been very inconsistent, even when he is healthy.
When you have half a brain, that doesn't help.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you have one of the best wide receivers in football, and it's like why I don't know what the harsh cliff of Tyreek Hill was. Do we know like what it was specifically?
I mean, he's had a couple good games here and there, but he's not Tyreek. He's not Tyreek Hill anymore.
But it doesn't make any sense to me. Like he's like it's not like he's a horse where one day his like leg is broken and you got to take him out back. Like he's still like pretty decent wide receiver. Like, am I missing something? Like I feel like we've just been watching him all year, and everyone's just like okay with it because Miami's so bad. But like, what happened?
He lost a step of speed, and it's not like he's an insane like 50-50 ball getter or some insane route runner. It's his speed that's what makes him fantastic.
Well, I also don't want to sit here and say he's had like a horrible season. Like he's still probably top 15 in receiving yards this year.
He's gonna have 1,000 yards.
He doesn't have Waddle opposite of him for some of the games this year. They're throwing to the tight end and they're running back more. It could be somewhat of a scheme thing. Maybe he's more of a decoy than he used to be. I don't really know.
I don't know. Yeah, it was just a weird season for Miami in general. I feel like just like not what they were expecting. Tua dying, Jalen Waddle being like inconsistent.
Do you just have to pencil that in at this point? Like Tua just dies for 5 games and then comes back. Like is that just like
kind of? I find it hard to believe that he can stay healthy for an entire year.
So he can't be your starting quarterback then. And I know they signed him, and you're kind of stuck with him, but like that was probably stupid.
Yeah, again, it all goes to like what we were saying about them before the year started was Tua is one hit away from being, CTE Antonio Brown. Mm-hmm. Like you have to like be prepared for that. And then they went into the season and they weren't prepared for it. And it happened and then they sucked.
Tua acting like Antonio Brown?
No.
He's going to be.
So funny.
Did you notice that when he came back and he had like that afro, he was like more energized on like the sideline, like he was like yelling and shit, and I'm like, I was like, I wonder if that hit to the head.
CTE Tua would be like he's gonna go be a Christian monk somewhere for like.
No. He would go the Chris Benoit route and just kill his wife. That's definitely what he would do.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Did you not see that? It's like Tua Tagovailoa killed wife.
No, I couldn't see that.
He's one hit away from doing something really dumb. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But we also said after the last 2 hits that he's done too. So
yeah, I mean, I thought after what happened this year, I thought for sure he was never coming back. And then he came back.
He shouldn't be playing.
And he still runs and like dives head first into like going for first down. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's retarded, bro.
The one he got hurt on this year, he literally led with his helmet. Like he literally was just like this, like just
yes, and he's done it a couple times since he's come back. It's so ridiculous.
I don't know. The Dolphins are just like you yell at like what's your two teams? Tennessee. What's the other one that you hate, Antonio?
Oh, the Chargers.
Like Miami's like one of those teams. Like yeah. I know they used to be good, but like name me one good thing they've done in like 30 years.
I don't know. Like, their colors are cool.
Give those colors to any other team, and then you're like, wow, that's a cool team. Like
I like their logo. It looks classic, old school. You know,
they're as dumb as the Jets are.
They are as dumb as the Jets. Yeah,
the Jets have more recent success than the Dolphins do. Think about that.
No.
Yeah, what? They went to 2 AFC.
The Dolphins were in the playoffs last year. We can't do that.
Yeah, that's also true.
Dolphins. Okay, we can't do that. They went to the playoffs and lost. Like, wow.
Yeah, they've done that. The Jets haven't even gone that far.
The Jets have gone to the AFC Championship game twice.
That was in like 2010.
That was in like 2009 and 2010.
15 years ago. Yeah, tell me.
They haven't made the playoffs since then.
They haven't made the playoffs since then. Miami was in the playoffs last year.
When's the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game?
It doesn't matter. They've been to the playoffs.
It does matter. Last year. It does matter. Because if you go to the playoffs and lose the first time you get in every round, then what's the point?
No, that means you've won enough games to make the playoffs. The Jets haven't even done that.
Let's give the Dolphins the round of applause for the regular season getting to the playoffs award. Congratulations.
No, you're saying the Jets are just as good as the Dolphins. They're not.
They are.
The Dolphins are a step ahead of the Jets.
They both suck as bad.
No. Not last year. You don't win 11. The Jets have not won 11 games.
Okay, so when the Jets are a 4-win team over the last 10 years, the Dolphins are a 6-win team or a 7-win team.
So let's give them the 7-win team award. That's great.
They won 11 games last year.
They were fielding a better team than the Jets year by year.
They won
11 games last year and then got fucking farted on.
Yeah.
In the first round.
If the Jets had won 11 games at least once in the last 15 years, I would have given you that. But
they
I'm not.
The
Jets are poverty.
With Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, they won 12 games in 2000.
They won 10 games actually, and they missed the playoffs.
They made the playoffs that year.
They went 10-6. They missed the playoffs. They lost to the Bills in the last game of the season.
Whatever, man. They both fucking suck. Who cares? They're both terrible.
I'm saying the Jets are poverty. The Dolphins are poor.
Okay, let's have that little bit of distinguishment. Like
I do, I want that distinguishment because the Jets, you cannot do that to the Dolphins. That is so insulting to the Dolphins.
I'm sure the 4 Dolphins fans out there feel really insulted.
I would. The Jets are terrible.
The Dolphins are fucking terrible. They're awful. They're a pointless team.
They had the same constructed roster this year as the Dolphins did last year, and they won 4 games.
If the Jets and Dolphins were playing this weekend, I would probably take the Jets.
Aren't they playing this weekend?
Are they really?
Yeah.
I thought they just played.
No, they're playing again this weekend because it's Bills Patriots.
Jets just beat them, right?
Mm.
No one cares.
No one cares. I don't care.
All right. What other games from last week? So let's talk about the Bengals, please. I know it's a tough road, right? And if Sal's theory is correct, the Jets beat the Dolphins, then we only need the Dolphins to lose to the Broncos to lose to Carson Wentz.
That Mims
and Cincinnati needs to beat the Steelers.
The Mims catch was insane.
That game was insane.
That game was awesome. Great fucking game.
That game was insane, and I feel like every Bengals game has had that sort of crackhead element where you just never know what is going to happen.
Because their defense can't get a stop, and you can't trust their kicker to make a kick. So they're literally living life on the edge every fucking possession.
Their defense is so bad.
They need to go down and score a touchdown every single drive.
Alan was saying today, if Burrow was MVP, then his team would have a better record. So he put his team in positions to win and make field goals, and his kicker missed.
I don't know what more Joe Burrow could be doing this season to help this team.
It's funny that he's doing as much as he possibly can, and then he's still giving that little bit of extra Like, okay, fine. Like, they still won the game, and he was like, fine, I will go down and score a touchdown. If that is what is needed, I will go down and score a touchdown after missing a game-winning field goal.
They weren't leaving it up to chance. They're like, we're putting it in the end zone. I
like,
don't care.
Holy shit, dude. Like, it's so funny. Like, Joe Burrow has single-handedly, him and Jamar Chase have, like, both single-handedly, like, willed this team into possibly getting into they were totally written off. We were just like, this is just not their year. Like, nothing's going their way. And yet they are still, in the last week of the season, almost able to make the playoffs.
They got a chance, but they need a 3-team parlay to fucking hit.
Chiefs fans all over the internet that, like, I saw today talking about how bad they don't want the Bengals to make the playoffs.
Literally, dude, I mean, I wouldn't want to play them.
Especially if I'm the Chiefs.
Well, because if they win the first round, they auto go to the Chiefs because they're the lowest seed. So,
and Burrow doesn't give a fuck about going to Kansas City.
No, he owns them.
So,
with how he's playing right now,
if they make the playoffs, he's MVP, right?
No,
I don't think he can do anything to make. I think Josh Allen has it locked up. It's about regular season. It's not about postseason.
I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I was saying it was definitely Allen over Lamar. Now, I mean, Lamar's stats.
I don't even think. I mean, I guess Lamar Jackson could be in the conversation, but to me, he's played worse than he did last year, and he won the MVP last year. I think it's Josh Allen this year.
You said he played worse than last year?
He's got more yards and touchdowns.
I don't know. I think to me, he played way better last year.
Well, the team was better.
Yeah.
But now they're probably going to win their division. And that probably uplifts Lamar a little bit too.
He's looked significantly better this year. Their team has played a lot better.
I actually disagree. I think he was way better last year at throwing the ball.
I don't know how you can disagree.
I think he's got more passing yards this year. I think he has
You could. Yes, you could. But if you've watched every single one of their games, I don't know. They're like, this team should be competing for the number 1 seed.
Oh, I agree.
And they were not able to get it done. I don't like. Lamar Jackson does this thing where he just has a dumb fucking mistake every game. In the most important time, he'll fumble or throw an interception every single time. And like, that's been their play this year. Huh?
Well, he's only thrown 4 of those.
No, I know, but like, he's good for like 2 fumbles a game. Like, he is like, I don't know. It's just one of those years where like, I feel like they should certainly be the number 1 seed. The way their season started, they should be the number 1 seed.
I think they should.
I mean, I could say the Bills should be the number 1 seed. Like, I feel like that argument.
Yes, but the Bills were competing for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
The Ravens had no chance after they lost to the fucking Browns. They lost to the fucking Browns.
Who has a harder division, the Bills or the fucking Ravens?
I mean, I don't know. If you look at it, the Bengals sucked. The Steelers are bad. The Browns suck.
This is not even a hypothetical. Not even.
Yeah, it's not even fucking close.
No, I'm just saying.
He's been the best division in football for like 2 years.
He's played a third of his games against the Browns, Bengals, and Steelers, who actually are decent teams. And Josh Allen's played a third of his games against the Bills or the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets. Like,
okay, who beat the Chiefs?
Okay.
Josh Allen beat the Chiefs. That alone solidifies.
Who played at home? Josh Allen played at home.
It doesn't matter if it's at home or not. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
I would give it to Allen over Lamar this year. But
Josh Allen has locked it up.
Lamar's stats right now are kind of ridiculous.
I'm just saying eye test. I understand that he has more yards. I understand that he has more touchdowns. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you.
Can you name the important fumble he's had? Like,
I don't know. If you go back in any of the games, like where they lost to Cleveland, like he had a fumble in that game.
10 weeks ago, he had a fumble, so he sucks.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm in the same boat as Sal. I've never been a Lamar defender. Now,
no, I'm not saying that Lamar is dog shit. I'm saying, like, in my mind, Josh Allen has locked up the MVP, and I don't think Lamar is even close.
Now, the way I also see it is if you take Lamar off his team, you take Josh Allen off his team. I don't think the Bills are a playoff team this year.
I don't like doing those hypotheticals.
I don't like
that.
I don't like it either. But like, if it comes down to it, like,
if you put Josh Allen on the Ravens, they're the number 1 seed.
If Lamar, I don't know about that.
I know about that. Yeah,
I agree with him, Sal.
100%.
With Derrick Henry, dude.
I don't know.
I think Josh Allen has played significantly better than Lamar Jackson this year.
I'm not saying Josh Allen's not the MVP, but to say Lamar's played worse than last year, that's just
Okay,
a crazy
that might have
take.
been a stretch, but that's just my eye test. You're taking it way too literal. In my opinion, he played a better overall game last year than he did this year. In my opinion.
I just disagree.
Then we'll see. If they make it to the AFC Championship game, then he
the
did
playoffs
just
is a
as
different
good.
story. The playoffs is a different story because every year in the playoffs he chokes. So like I'm not holding my breath for a playoff run with them. But
Exactly. So just like how you say, where like if Miami gets to the playoffs and loses one game, it doesn't matter. If Lamar Jackson loses in the playoffs again, all he did in the regular season doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And if Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl, then that is a success.
You know what?
Best player
Let's
ever.
just give Patrick Mahomes the MVP trophy every year and give the Chiefs the title. Why?
If it was up to the NFL, they would love to do that. They would love to do that, which is why he was favored for the MVP until like 3 weeks ago. Somehow.
So dumb.
So dumb. Just because his team keeps winning by 1-score games.
I don't know. I'm of the mindset that like it could go either way with Lamar and Josh Allen, and they both played a hell of a season. And I want to. If you told me Lamar gets it, I'm not really mad about it. And if you told me Josh Allen gets it, good for him. I'm not mad about it either.
I would be very upset if Josh Allen did not win it.
I think Lamar's had as good
a
season.
I'd be very disappointed if Allen didn't get it. But
what if Lamar throws 6 touchdowns? What if Lamar throws 6 touchdowns against Cleveland on Saturday?
Is he even playing?
Yeah, he's playing. They need it for the division.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
It's in my mind, it is locked up to Josh Allen.
It
does not matter.
Touchdowns and Allen throws 1. I think it's a wrap.
Well, I don't think Allen's not playing.
You're telling me if Lamar gets to 50 touchdowns, he's at 44 total right now. If he gets to 50 touchdowns total, it doesn't matter.
No. Josh Allen has played significantly better.
All right.
It's just my opinion.
All right. That's why we're here.
So you're saying if he does get to 50 touchdowns, he wins the MVP.
I think he has a lot stronger case than 44.
Okay, Sal, you like to play both sides. If you were to put your money on it right now, who is winning the MVP?
Josh Allen at this point.
Okay. And if Lamar Jackson throws 6 touchdowns this week,
Lamar Jackson.
You're putting it on Lamar Jackson.
That gives him a way better statistical year than Josh Allen will have. So I would take Lamar Jackson if he throws 5 or 6 touchdowns on Saturday.
Okay.
I think the margin is that thin. I think Josh Allen not playing and Lamar going out and balling out and having 5 or 6 touchdowns, that's a huge difference. And not saying because Josh Allen shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing. They have everything locked up. I don't think Josh Allen should run out there to try to win MVP.
No,
I'm just saying it of the sense that his season will be that much better than Josh Allen's if he goes out and throws for 300, runs for 50 yards, and scores 5 or 6 touchdowns on Sunday.
Josh Allen's slightly more favored than Lamar Jackson right now, and Lamar Jackson goes out and does what you say. I don't
know. What are the odds right now?
Minus 300. Probably to about the same.
It's minus 300 for Allen and plus 200 for Lamar last time I saw it.
Oh, I would go plus 100 both if
It's minus 420 Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson plus 270.
It really, in my mind, it really depends on how good. If Lamar just has like an average game, like 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, I don't think it does anything for him. But if he goes out there and throws like 380 and has like 4 or 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, I think that changes the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't think it does enough. In my mind, it's decided.
We'll see.
All right, should we get into this week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, starting off with Saturday. There's no Thursday, just Saturday.
Perfect segue because it should be the Ravens.
Very big segue. The Cleveland Browns head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens are minus 17.5 at home, over under 42.5.
I'll never take Dorian Thompson-Robinson in anything again. Give me the Ravens minus. Could be minus 30. I'll take the Ravens.
Why are they not playing like Bailey Zappi?
Why are they not playing Jameis Winston?
I have no idea.
They're trying to lose because I watched a good amount of that Browns Dolphins game and it was so bad.
Because what are they, second pick right now or third pick?
Like 4th, I think.
And then the Browns draft another quarterback high up. They make the wrong pick and they take Shedeur Sanders and he's a fucking disaster.
I can't imagine Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. That's
actually I agree. I think his dad would tell him you're not playing for that team.
Yeah.
Well, it all comes down to I think they've already said that most of the personnel is going to stay the same, and they're probably going to bring back Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So like, if Deshaun Watson, what do you do with Deshaun Watson?
If you're bringing him back, you're playing him.
I think you got to bring him back. No, they're stuck with him, dude.
I don't know. I want no part of Deshaun Watson, but if they're bringing him back, then yeah, you gotta play him. You're not gonna sit him on the bench.
I have no complaint if they do that. I don't care about them right now. They could just be mediocre again next year.
They're gonna be piss poor next year.
Oh, they're gonna be really good next year.
You always say that.
They threw away 4 seasons on Deshaun Watson.
They did. Yeah. They would have been better off like keeping Joe Flacco.
They could have done literally anything else, and it would have been the right pick.
They could have signed you.
They would have paid me less than him. Like
they would have paid, dude. All they would need to pay you in like parlays.
They should trade for Josh Allen.
DraftKings tokens.
Yeah, they're like, we'll give you $10,000 in free bets. And so I would have been like, hell yeah.
Just go out there and just get hit once every play for like 2 weeks until you're done.
Could you imagine Sal playing quarterback for the Browns?
I'm dead serious. I'm really not joking. I could have played as good as Dorian Thompson-Robinson on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I could have done what he did on Sunday.
We could, you could just do screen passes to the running back every play. You could complete a screen pass.
I could make a couple. I could complete like 2 or 3 passes.
And you could hand the ball off.
Fucking play. Your team's 3-12. You're not doing anything. What's the point of checking it down to your backs every play?
They checked it down every play, Antonio. Every play was a 2-yard pass. Legit every play.
At least let your players have some.
DTR can't throw more than 10 yards down the field or gets intercepted.
I think you're right. I don't think he can. I think he's Chad Pennington. Like
I literally don't think that they trust him to make a long I mean, Cedric Tillman was insane when Jameis was playing.
Why do they care about trusting if he can make that throw?
True.
I don't know why they care.
Because either way, you're gonna get smacked up. Like, you're right. Go have some fun.
And maybe that's what they're doing this week. That's why the total is so high. They're like, fuck it, we're just gunslinging it. But in that case, bring Jameis in. At least make it entertaining.
Which is why, like, what do you do? Like, what? Dorian Thompson-Robinson is not even a backup quarterback. He might not even be a CFL quarterback. Like, that's probably the line. Like, he might be a CFL quarterback.
There are so many college quarterbacks right now better than him.
Yeah. There's 60 living quarterbacks, but Jimmy Carter might have been a better quarterback than he was on Sunday. I'm not joking.
It's so funny that he's like universally the worst quarterback in the league, and like
I thought you were going
to say you're not wrong.
He's like, everyone knows him as the worst quarterback, and yet they still trot him out there.
It's crazy.
And the fact that they announced that Jameis Winston is QB3.
Like, why? Like, why do they hate him?
That was so dumb.
I don't know why they hate him.
I don't know. Give Bailey Zappi a chance, at least to showcase something for him to go on another team. At least,
yeah.
If DTR goes in there in the first half and is just awful, which I know he will be, just throw Bailey Zappi in there. Why not?
Would you guys pick for this game? Or
Baltimore.
Did you pick?
Oh yeah, Sal wasn't here last week.
No, Sal was not here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm taking Baltimore.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you were asking me about a game that we picked last week. I was like,
no, nope.
What the fuck?
All right, let's move on.
All right, night game on Saturday. I gotta tell you, I've never been more excited for a football game in my life than Cincinnati heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Cincinnati is -1.5 on the road, over under 48.5. Is this where it ends?
How do you not take fucking Cincinnati in this game?
I think there are very valid cases to not take Cincinnati in this game.
Yeah,
it's the NFL though. They have to keep the drama up for Sunday.
I mean,
legit. You want to know what my only thing that I could see is Cincinnati wins by 1. That's the only thing I could say, and Pittsburgh covers. And you're threading the needle. Cincinnati has to win this game. There's no way they don't win this game.
It's going to be a snow game.
It could be a snow game, I think. But I think like if it's a snow game, that just adds to like how incredible this is.
The crazy thing, though, in my mind, this game is 10-7, but Cincinnati wins it. They win a low-ass scoring game somehow.
I
Or
think if
like
it's low scoring, I don't think Cincinnati
it
has a
definitely
chance.
no. That's counterintuitive. It definitely favors Pittsburgh, but I think it's low scoring, and I think Cincinnati wins. I like the under, and I like Cincinnati.
I gotta tell you here, I don't know.
There's no way you're hopping off right now.
I'm not hopping off. I'm not hopping off. My pick is Cincinnati, but I do think like Cincinnati could lose and it still be dramatic on Sunday, like because Miami could still win and get in, and Denver lose.
A lot of people want to see the Bengals get in. I could totally see the Steelers just ruining it for everybody, and everybody just fucking shitting on Carson.
It makes the most sense, but with what I've seen out of Cincinnati, honestly, like if there's any team that would just, I don't know, break that, it would be Cincinnati at this point.
It's so stupid.
It's just like a
if
team.
They win, that's so stupid.
If they win,
the Steelers?
If they win and Denver and Miami both lose somehow, that would be the most incredible story, like in a regular season in a while. I feel like. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just completely written off. Like they had like a, I don't know, 1% chance to make the playoffs when they were like 3.
Not even. It wasn't even 1%. It was like 0.1 probably.
And now they're up to like 11% or something. Like, just to even get that far, just to even be in the conversation and have a chance on the last week is honestly like so impressive. And like it's gonna suck if they don't make the playoffs because like the year that they just wasted, like especially from Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, the year that you have just wasted, I think Zach Taylor should be out of there. If they make the playoffs and like somehow win a playoff game and then lose, I think Zach Taylor saves his job at that point. But if they lose tomorrow or on Saturday, excuse me, I think he's fired.
I don't mind firing Zach Taylor.
Do you think they fire him if they win a playoff game?
No, I don't think they're getting to the playoffs though, which is either Denver or.
It's a very small chance.
Denver or Miami's winning Sunday, but they're gonna at least tickle you and think that one of them is not gonna win, or both of them is not gonna win.
I think the ugliest scenario is Miami getting in. I think that's the ugliest scenario.
I'd fucking hate that, dude.
I don't know. Either way, you're telling me the Bills aren't going to roll Denver or Miami coming to Buffalo for the first playoff game.
Yes.
They're getting either of those teams are getting shit on.
Yes, because it'll probably be a snow game, knowing Buffalo. It'll probably be so fucking cold.
So it was like a joke, like, because Antonio sent it so many times, but what happens when it's really Packers fucking Broncos? I think I said that like maybe a month ago, but like
Packers Broncos Super Bowl would be so disgusting.
He loved sending that meme of the Simpsons, and it was Packers Broncos Super Bowl of the two helmets. He sent that so many times.
The Simpsons?
It was it's the two helmets, but that was from the Simpsons.
It looked like a really?
Promise you that's from the Simpsons.
It wasn't a cartoon though.
Go back and look at your photo and send it, and I promise you that's from The Simpsons.
Did you send it in the group chat or on Twitter?
Yeah.
It's been so long since he sent that, but
I'm not going back and looking at it right now.
We talked about it when you weren't on the podcast, and Antonio was like, "What if the Packers and the Broncos make the Super Bowl?" I'd be like, honestly, I'd be happy that the Chiefs weren't there, but the price that I would have to pay for that is Packers.
It's definitely not the worst game we could get.
Would we even call Bo Nix a rookie though? Like we'd be like, "Oh, Bo Nix isn't really a rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl though." Like he's like
30.
He's like 50 years old. He's like not a rookie at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would have to.
No, I know, but it's like he's like
people would say that though. Yeah, people would definitely say that. I think he's played good.
Bengals 100-1 to make the AFC. If anyone's interested in that.
So am I the biggest villain of the podcast if I don't take Cincinnati?
No, you're not.
Because like I feel like I should pick them for the ride. And like not put bad shit on them, but I
promise you, we've fucked up everything, and we've jinxed everything. It would not be the first time, and it would not be the last time.
I'm gonna take the Steelers, and I think they're gonna get an immense amount of hate after they win this game.
Oh yeah,
Boo.
Because here's the thing: like the Steelers are already going into this game like so hated, and the fact that they've been playing bad doesn't help either. Like if they've been playing good, like people wouldn't have as much hope.
you're gonna get people saying shit like, "No one wants to see this team in the playoffs. Everybody wants to see the Bengals there."
Yeah, they definitely are going to get some hate.
I'm going the route of misery.
It's true.
Okay, so like they've been on this skid, right? Is this not the same skid that Justin Fields went on? Well, Justin Fields wasn't even on a skid, and they took him out. And now Russell Wilson's on a skid, and they are not taking him out.
Okay, yeah, but who gives you a better chance to win every week?
Right now, I have no idea. Russell Wilson's not been playing good.
If you're going into,
I don't
game,
have the energy to do Justin Fields versus Russell Wilson right now. I can't do this right now.
if it's a big game, I don't think.
Come on, Sal.
Why? He's a running back, bro. He's not going to go in the playoffs and win you a game. I promise.
Russell Wilson's lost 3 in a row.
Never been good.
It's not the playoff. Who's won a Super Bowl?
Russell Wilson did 1,000,000 years ago.
Still
and
counts.
then cursed himself after.
Still
the
counts.
year after
It
he
still
cursed
counts.
himself. Cursed himself.
Scoreboard is 1 Super Bowl to no Super Bowl. So I'm going to take the guy that has 1 Super
How many playoff wins to none?
Yeah, literally.
How
it's like,
but how is he not going to he's never had the chance. Justin Fields has never had the chance.
Bro.
All right, let's undo.
His weren't good, but he's never been good. He was never going to be good.
Let's undo the last
garbage.
10 weeks of Russell Wilson being in here and insert Justin Fields for a playoff game. I think that's what we should do. That sounds like a great idea.
No, I think you should play him in this game.
Why?
They took Justin Fields out when he was 3-1.
They're still playing for the division.
Yeah.
And you've lost 3 in a row.
You're trying to win. You're not trying to tank. Like,
you're also not trying to lose 4 in a row.
So you leave your starting quarterback in to try to win the game.
I don't know. He's lost 3 in a row. Is he doing that great right now? I don't think so.
Sorry, he should have beaten the Chiefs on the road. You're right.
If you're going to be a team vying for the AFC title, you should win one of those games at least.
So would Justin Fields have beaten the Chiefs last week?
I don't know. They didn't give him a chance.
Want to hear Justin Fields' stat line from last week?
They didn't give him a chance.
No
one's on his troll shit today. No one is supreme level 100 troll right now. I just don't get it, bro.
I'm trying to poke, but a part of me is like, why aren't they starting him though?
Because Russell Wilson has been the starter for 10 weeks. For 10 weeks.
He's lost 3 in a row, Sal. They're trying to win the division. Your own words. They're trying to win the division.
Which is why they have Russell Wilson in, because he's the better quarterback.
So what if they lose this week?
Then they play Russell Wilson again.
And then they lose in the playoffs. They lose in the first game.
Then we'll reevaluate in the offseason. They've made their bed.
They're going to get rid of
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of talk going around like, why didn't you start Justin Fields?
I don't think that's going to be the number one
Russell Wilson goes out and throws 3 picks this weekend and loses the game. What do you do?
He sucks.
He sucks, and you're playing him the week after.
So if they both suck, why don't we give the other guy a chance?
Because he's not the starter.
He was the starter going into the year, and they pulled the rug out from under him.
No, this is exactly like saying Matt Stafford hasn't looked good. Let's play the backup.
No, it's not. Why
not?
The backup of the Rams did not start 3-1. It was playing really well, and they took him out for no reason.
All right, so then Tyler Huntley should play for the Dolphins this week because he's won the last.
It's like saying Tyler Huntley. You took out Tua when he was 3-1. Put in Tyler Huntley. Now Tyler Huntley's lost 3 in a row. Are you gonna put Tua back in?
What you don't understand is Russell Wilson was hurt to start the season. It's not like Justin Fields was the starter.
Russell Wilson could have played.
It was
hurt.
not
keeping him from playing.
They were sitting him.
No, they weren't.
I'm good on this. I'm done.
I just had to go until Sal was ready to quit. I wanted to see how long Sal could go.
You win. Congrats.
All right. Now on to Sunday. We all picked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to Sunday at 1:00. By the end of this episode, I want Sal to be so mad that he's going to drive to my house and hit me.
I can't even drive to your house. I don't have a fucking car right now.
He's going to Uber to my house and hit me. All right. Carolina at Atlanta. Atlanta's minus 7.5 at home, over under 48.5.
Nobody cares. Carolina, move on.
Yeah, Carolina.
So Atlanta doesn't make it sticky?
They already didn't, right?
No, I
Or
think
is there still a
I think they still have a chance. They have
Plus
to win, and
8.5
Tampa has to
anyway, I don't
lose.
Yeah, I still, no matter what, I still think Carolina covers that spread.
Carolina's been scrappy. I'll take Carolina.
I will
Watch
also
out,
take Carolina.
Carolina dark horse for next year. Not to win the Super Bowl, but like playoffs, I could definitely say.
Oh, don't spoil anything.
I remember what you said about them this year.
2 years ago, and
Or
then they
2
were
years
like
ago.
0-16. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Bears were that team this year for you.
Hey, I'm full of bad predictions.
All right. So we all took Carolina. Washington Commanders head to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Washington's minus 4.5 on the road, over under 44.5.
Easiest pick of the weekend. It's Dallas. Washington doesn't care, and Dallas is going to give themselves a worse draft position if they can. So Dallas.
Yeah, and then when they win, Jerry's gonna be all happy. I'm
Yep.
just happy the boys ended the season with me.
Yep.
I agree.
So if they lose, then they could potentially be the 7th seed, right? And then they'd have to go to Philly?
2 versus 7. Yeah, they would play Philly.
Yeah, right now Green Bay would go to Philly.
Good game. That's a good game.
Yeah, I think that would be.
They already played. That was the Brazil game, and that was.
Although the Commanders and Eagles would be a good game too, though.
Hypothetical spread on Green Bay and Eagles. Eagles minus 6.5.
Might even be 5.5. No, I don't know.
Really?
Green Bay's kind of played shitty lately. It might be like 6.5.
I don't like.
I could see it being 5.5 though.
For Packers matchups, I feel like I like the Packers more against Philly than I do against the Rams. I think Rams is kind of a bad matchup for them.
They've beaten the Rams this year, but I kind of doubt what you're saying.
Oh, then I sound fucking dumb.
It was a really close game. They were down for a good portion of it.
I don't know. I don't really like the Commanders and Rams matchup though.
I think that might be a really good game.
Honestly, all the NFC matchups are probably going to end up being pretty good games.
Yeah, I could see the Vikings and Bucks being very entertaining. If it ends up being Vikings Bucks.
Could be Lions and Bucks.
And they have history.
Dude, if the Lions,
that was a great game last year.
We'll get to it. All right. Speaking of the Packers, the Chicago Bears head to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers are minus 9.5 at home, over under 40.5.
I'll give Nolan his flowers. He said after the Hail Mary that the Bears season was over and they have not won a game since the Hail Mary.
They haven't exactly helped themselves.
That Hail Mary happened and they're like, damn, it was a good run.
It definitely, it definitely ruined their season. But I think we did say, though, that the second half of the year was much more difficult than the first half for them. So they probably would have still had trouble anyway. I don't know if they would have gone 0-7 or however many games they've lost in a row. But, yeah, that Hail Mary was... Because what did we say was the difference between being, 5-2 and
4-3?
4-3. Yeah.
No.
So that definitely just fucking torched them. And then the whole, Cowboys thing on Thanksgiving was bad.
I guess I'll take the Bears here. I don't really know. Sure.
I'm taking the Packers here. I think that they probably would prefer... I don't know what they would prefer, but, I would assume maybe they think Philly would be a better matchup for them. So they're probably going to look to win this game.
I think they're going to go out there with their starters. And then if they're in good shape by the second half or in the middle of the third quarter, I can see them sitting down Love and some of the starters.
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay here.
At that point, I still like Green Bay to cover the 9, even if Green Bay may not be going full balls to the wall here.
All right. Next game, Houston heads to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans are minus 1.5, over under 38.5.
Titans are the worst against the spread record ever. 2-15, 2-14.
Texans.
Yeah, so the Texans are not starting anybody, I would assume, based on this line. That's what I would assume. I think they have the 4 spot locked up.
I really want to take the Titans, so I'm going to take the Titans.
Man, this is This is between a rock and a hard place. I feel like even the Titans are
This
when
is
they're
This
full
is just
squad.
a rock versus a rock. This is all that this matchup is.
Even when
the
even when the Texans are like full squad, I mean they would have trouble covering games.
Texans
Now
have
they're
been
like a road. I mean,
very sorry the last month.
Yeah, both these teams kind of suck. One team just pretends that they're good.
Yeah.
one team on paper is better,
Yeah.
and then like when you see them play, you're like, this is a 4 seed in the AFC.
Is there any world where like Houston just wakes up and looks good? Like
that could happen. I just think like
if they still had an explosive receiving core, sure, but now they just have one guy.
Yeah, that's true.
But there are a lot of teams with just one guy. And I mean, they have some decent like other targets as well. Like Dalton Schultz is still there, and they still have. I mean, Mechie's not terrible.
I actually like Mechie. I don't think he's like that great, but I think he's decent.
Yeah, he's decent to catch a few balls here and there. But like, yeah, Nico Collins is gonna have to start putting up some monster numbers, and Joe Mixon's gonna have to come back and show up eventually. I don't know where he went.
He's been kind of faded out the last few weeks.
Well, it was the fantasy playoffs, so obviously he's gonna play well during that.
Yeah, now that it doesn't matter, he might actually come back and wake up. I don't know. But he probably won't even play much this game. So I don't know. Maybe the rest will do him good when the playoffs comes around. Maybe they'll be, I don't know if they're going to be as bad as people think when the playoffs rolls around because they'll be pretty decently rested. So we'll see. But I don't know. I'll take the Titans here. I really don't care about this game. All right. Another game no one gives a shit about. Jacksonville Jaguars head to Indianapolis. The Colts are -5.5 at home, over under 45.5.
Okay, give me Indy. I'm going to get my laptop charger. I'll be back in a minute.
I think Jacksonville solely based on the fact that like Doug Peterson is probably coaching for his job, so they're gonna go all out this week.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's like borderline. He's getting fired in the offseason. I could definitely see him getting fired.
I could see it. I mean,
the Colts also after last week, that was such a kick in the dick for the Colts that like I don't know how they come back from that.
This is going to be two very depressed teams, two very depressing football teams.
Mac Jones really hasn't looked horrible, and I hate Mac Jones, but he really he's looked at least backup caliber quarterback. Like he could definitely be a backup for.
Which is what we've always said about him is that he is just a backup.
He's a good backup.
Yeah, he's just like a backup. He's not great. He will come in and fuck it up, but he'll have signs where he's pretty good.
Why should I see him like going to Kansas City and then like playing a like playoff game for them and winning? Like that's some shit I could see at some point.
Him playing for Kansas City and winning a playoff game?
Yeah, like 5 years from now, he's Mahomes' backup, and then he just comes in once he gets hurt and wins a game for them.
That'd be so gross.
That'd be so gross. And then it's like, oh, Matt Jones. Oh. It's like, ew.
I mean, kind of like, when Chad Henne did it.
Yeah.
It was kind
of. And Matt Moore. They've had a couple of backup moments there.
Yeah.
This game doesn't matter.
This game doesn't matter. I'm going to take the Colts just because they're a better team. But, I mean, I don't know if they win this game that Doug Peterson saves his job.
I don't necessarily know that it saves his job, but I think in their mind it might help them keep him around, and if they like him, I think they'll play hard this week for him. So
yeah, it's probably a decent bet. Antonio, who did you take? Did you take someone before you left?
Are you still talking about Jacksonville and Indy?
Yeah.
So Jacksonville, right?
I took Indy.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys are still talking about that game, honestly.
Okay, whatever. Buffalo heads to New England.
That's why I left to get my charter. I was like, if they're gonna talk about this, I don't need to hear it.
Honestly, New England's gonna win this game just because they don't want the number 1 pick, and that's how the season goes. They're gonna somehow win against Buffalo.
So it's gonna be the opposite of last year.
What's it matter though if you get the number 1 pick? Like, unless for trade value, you're not taking a.
They're gonna trade it. I feel like no matter what, even if it's 1 or 2.
All right, then
I think having the number 1 seed gives you a little bit more, like, options of what to get. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
why wouldn't you want the number 1 pick though, Antonio? Like
that's true. Like, I mean, honestly, it has no effect on the Giants because you guys aren't taking a quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no matter what,
only one quarterback
Shadir's going to the Giants. I think no matter what,
what do you want, Cam? You want Cam Ward?
I don't want Shador.
They're gonna get him.
I can really see Cam Ward being a Giant. I feel like that just fits for some reason.
Shadir already has like the Giants cleats. He already has like the custom Giants
I
cleats.
fucking hate that, bro.
I thought that was ridiculous.
Honestly, I bet Dable rolls his eyes at that shit too.
Dable's gone, no?
Yeah, he's gone
Dable's
though.
gone.
Yeah, he's gone. They
Might
Prime.
get rid of the GM, but not him. They said earlier, they said a few weeks ago, like these two aren't connected. Like we're willing, like if one goes, that doesn't mean the other is.
Interesting.
You bring in Dion, you bring in Shadir, and then you have an exciting, I don't know, 7-win season next year. What do you think about that? You like that?
Not with those two.
Okay, then who? Okay, Dable gets fired. Who do you want?
I don't want them to fire Dable unless
You want to keep Dable.
A surefire, good head coach.
I would have no problem.
Unless they're totally confident in a guy with like good name rep and shit, then I don't think they should fire Dable just to fire Dable.
I would have no problem with the Patriots firing Mayo and Danny Dable if Dable got fired. I think he's a good coach, personally.
I think that if they're going to get Shadir, they might want Dable there just because of his history, with the Patriots and everything. Like, they might just want him as, like, the guy to try and develop Shadir, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he works well with the dynamic quarterback, and Shadir probably has, I mean, he does have more arm talent than Jones.
But with that being said, next year they're still going to be dog shit.
Yeah,
So it's not like it really matters. But if they're dog shit next year, do they then get rid of Dable? So it's almost like you're getting rid of Dable or you're getting rid of Dable. You either like fire him now or fire him later.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Shador, I think, as a dome quarterback.
I don't know. I could see him on the Saints.
I don't know if I like him up there, way up north in cold weather.
On the Saints, I feel like it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'm also heavily invested in this Arch Manning Saints arc. So
true.
I don't think the Saints are taking a cornerback this year, so they're literally going to have the number 1 pick next year, and they're taking Arch.
What do you think, so?
Agree.
So I was so done with our shit today. All right. Speaking of which, the New York Giants head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Eagles are -3 at home, over under 38.5.
Saquon playing in this game?
I don't know.
I do think Saquon will play.
You still take the Eagles. The Giants are still really bad.
He's got to break that record, Sal. I know we talked about it the other night, but like, how often do you have the opportunity to break a record like that?
Antonio, would you even care?
Yeah, until he gets hurt against his former team.
Oh, wow.
It could go one of two ways. It's the it's the double-edged sword.
I didn't say it.
It's two sides of the coin. It could go really good or it could go really bad. I think you put him in there, and once he breaks it, you take him out. He needs 103 yards or something.
So I know I asked Nolan this already. Like, Antonio, if you're the Eagles and he starts and he has like 45 or 50 yards at halftime, and on like 12 carries, 13 carries, are you putting him back out there? Like, it's like it's sketchy. It's real sketchy.
Especially if you're winning the game by a couple scores.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you do that.
I just think like the most Eagles thing would be for him to get hurt in this game. Like,
especially
would it not? Like
the Giants. It would be a very Saquon thing also.
It'd be a very Saquon thing. It'd be a very Philly thing for him to get hurt. And then just the fans to go ape shit on Sirianni heading into the playoffs. And then like that just checks him out.
I mean, we forget because the Super Bowl appearances and the finally Super Bowl win, this is a team that like would always have fuck shit happen to them. Like they used to have like Jets luck. I know it's not that bad anymore, but
yeah, they get flashes of it here and there of like Jets luck for sure.
I mean, yeah, with their collapse last year.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you start him until he breaks it, just because it's like, I don't know.
I don't necessarily disagree, but if he's on like 20 carries and 50 yards, it's really hard to justify to keep giving him carries. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you can't like put it up to him either. I feel like he's like such a humble guy that he probably wouldn't want to play.
I mean, in all reality, he shouldn't play.
Yes. He should not play.
Yeah, because I mean, how much does it mean to him? Because if he gets it, then he's always going to have to deal with, well, you didn't do it in 16 games.
I'm so sick of that argument, by the way.
Huh?
Like, those records are going to be broken over and over again. And it's like, how many times are we going to say that? It's like, it's not the player's decision. Like, I get, like, they do have somewhat of a decision to extend the season, but ultimately it comes to the NFL. It's not like they choose.
Yeah,
It's like you get what you're given.
Yeah, but that in 16 games is more impressive than that in 17 games. I hope he breaks it. I think that'd be
agreed, 100%. But like, oh well, no one's really gonna care in 20 years. They're just gonna see that record.
They're gonna be like, oh, one more game.
No one's gonna say that in 20 years from now. No one's gonna say that.
No, I mean, in 20 years, they're gonna be like, oh, one more game's nothing. Like,
yeah,
what's the difference?
So I don't know. I think you let him break it, and then take him out. I don't think it'll be very hard for him to get 103 yards on this defense, especially with the way he's been playing. He literally could get that in like the first quarter, and then take him out. Either way, I'm taking Eagles -3. All right, next game. The New Orleans Saints head to Tampa Bay, take on the Bucks. Bucks are -13.5, over under 43.5. So the Bucks, I think, probably will be starting their starters because they probably do want to win this game.
They need to.
They need to win this game. I think it all just comes down to what sort of seed they get. Right now, it looks like they have a 34% chance to get the number 3, 50% chance to get 4, and then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I'll take Tampa Bay here to shit on them because the Saints are playing for nothing, and I don't think they care.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. They need to make the playoffs.
Yeah, this line is way too big, and if Tampa Bay is going to be playing 100%, they should win this by more than 2 touchdowns. All right. This game that has a lot of meaning to it. The Kansas City Chiefs head to Denver, take on the Broncos. Broncos are -9.5 at home, over under 38.5. It's going to be up to Carson Wentz.
Here's my call on this game. The Chiefs go down and score an opening drive touchdown and then lose like 35-7.
Oh.
Broncos are covering this game.
Broncos cover this game, but the Chiefs win it.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs here. If I pick Cincinnati, I need the Chiefs. We need the Chiefs to win this game. And it's gonna be so funny because we've been such Chiefs
Broncos
haters.
Are -10. Kansas.
You meant Chiefs cover, Broncos win. Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be so funny.
No. I mean Broncos win. I'm sorry.
And cover.
I mean, I'm sorry. Chiefs win. I'm sorry.
Did you just have like 10 shots of alcohol in 3 seconds? Well,
I think he had 2 as CTE for a second.
He saw a game with the Broncos and Carson Wentz, and his brain just fried.
Holy shit! Huh? Yeah, that threw you for a loop. Okay, so you think the Chiefs are covering, or you think the Broncos are winning
and covering?
You think the Broncos win and the Chiefs cover?
No, I think the Chiefs fucking win.
Okay, the Chiefs win. The Chiefs win this game.
They cover.
Okay, glad we got that straight.
Jeez Louise, man.
Okay, now I'm lost. It's gonna be so funny.
No one cares about the actual pick.
How all year we've just hated on the Chiefs and wanted them to lose so bad, and the one time we want them to win, they're gonna lose.
Whatever the opposite of America's team is, that's what the Chiefs are. Like,
yeah,
they're like Cuba's team, or like
they're Nazi Germany team.
Yeah,
they're communist China team.
Patriots fans used to say all the time when they were really good, like, Cowboys aren't America's team. We're America's team. We win all the Super Bowls. And I'm like, that's
how funny was that?
The country hates you.
Yeah.
No,
how funny was that though?
But also, everybody hates the Cowboys. So.
Everybody definitely hated the Cowboys when they were winning. Any team that's winning is just hated. That's how it goes. I think I'm gonna take the Chiefs here, but it's just gonna be so funny when the Broncos win by like 30. All right. The Chargers head to the Las Vegas Raiders. Chargers are -5.5, Over under 41.5.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Okay, that was easy.
That washing machine is fucking.
The Seattle Seahawks head to the LA Rams. Seahawks are minus 5.5 on the road. Over under 38.5.
Seattle Rams aren't playing their starters.
Yeah.
So they don't care about getting the 3 or the 4 seed, huh?
No.
They're like, fuck
They have
it.
a home playoff game. They don't give a shit. They need rest for a week. They need to get healthy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to also take the Seahawks. All right. Antonio, did you pick? Okay.
Yeah, I took Seahawks.
The Miami Dolphins head to New York Jets. Dolphins are minus 1.5. Over under 39.5.
Jets. Jets.
Again, we got to take the Jets here. If we want Cincinnati to make it, we need the Jets here. We already talked about how bad the Dolphins are.
They'll at least get them. They'll at least schedule them until 4:25, and then the Broncos are gonna end up shitting on the Chiefs. But they'll at least give them till then.
Well,
It's
I mean,
funny,
both these games start at the same time, so we'll see.
I picked everything that the Bengals need to happen to make the playoffs, besides the Bengals winning.
That would be probably on brand, actually.
That's what I mean. Everybody's gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they all lose, the Denver gets in, right?
Yep.
Like I was
So-
saying with Philly, these are the Bungles.
True.
They earned that nickname.
True.
That would be funny if they all lost. Miami, Denver, and Cincinnati. If they all lost, that would be so funny.
Yeah, and then Cincinnati puts up 40 points and loses.
Hey, they've
Even
been doing
better.
it a lot lately, so all right. San Francisco 49ers head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals are minus 4.5 at home, over under 42.5. So
Who cares?
what do the 49ers do, man?
Go again next season.
Yeah, try it down.
Someone maybe. I don't know. They said they're sticking with Purdy, so
So they
There's
got
nothing
Purdy for
different
one
besides
more
the
year,
one-
I think, right?
Yeah,
On his
there's nothing
contract.
different there. You run it back again next year and you see what happens.
You don't do you extend Purdy? I don't think you do.
Nope. You see it one more year.
Which is crazy because he made the Super Bowl the year before.
It's not even like he played horrible this year. It just was like it was a down year for them. A lot
was a
of
down
teams
year.
that go to this, a lot of the teams that go to the Super Bowl and lose. This is kind of the story of the next year. They're just up and down and don't make the playoffs. Like,
Yeah, I
It's
do
kinda
think
par for
next year will make or break them.
yeah. I'll take Arizona here just because I like Arizona. I have no other reason than that.
Yeah, I don't know. This game, man. I think I might just stick with San Fran here. I don't know why. Both these teams are bad. It's like a coin flip at this point. All right. The most important game
The coup de grace.
of the week, the coup de grace, the final act. The Minnesota Vikings head to Detroit. Detroit minus 2.5 for the number 1 seed, over under 56.5.
Stop. No, it's not. Is it
It
really?
is 56.5.
Stop it right now. What the hell?
That might be the highest total of the year.
That's the highest total this season easily.
Yeah, I don't know if did we ever see like a 58.5 or no?
54 and a half is the biggest one I remember.
56.5 is nuts.
You guys are going to be shocked by this. I'm taking the Vikings.
me too.
Wait, you're both taking the Vikings?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm taking the Vikings.
It's
I'm
2.5,
also not going
though.
to say Detroit wins.
It's 2.5.
Oh, I see 3, but whatever.
I have 2.5. Get wrecked, pussy.
I have no reason to take Minnesota in this game other than the fact that I'm taking Minnesota in this game.
Yeah, again, like everybody just loves the Lions. They want to see them do good, and then just to piss everybody off, the Vikings are going to win this game.
Minnesota getting the number 1 seed would be so stupid, and it's just what's going to happen.
I do not think that is going to happen. I think this is Detroit. This is Detroit by 10, I think.
Imagine like you're sweating your division parlay and like it comes down to this and you could lose the NFC North betting on the Lions because the Vikings went 14 or 15-2. Like that would be crazy.
All because the Underdog Sports Podcast said they were going to be the worst team in the league.
I said they were going to be the worst team in the league.
Yes, but we all agreed. I think we all get a little bit of ownership there. None of us disagreed with you.
Oh. I mean, we've never seen this from Sam Darnold. You couldn't have expected this.
No, you could not have expected this. And I think, it's been a great year for them. I think ultimately you get what you deserve in terms of, the way that you play. I think Detroit, the way they've played, the way that they've been coached, the way that they've overcome their injuries, they deserve the number 1 seed. And I think they're going to go out and really fight for it. And when they go out and fight for it and when they're at home, they're just a different animal. And I think
57's insane.
56.5 is a ridiculous total. I do think it could hit the over.
Is everybody on the field minus money to score?
Probably. I mean, that wouldn't shock me. Especially with the game that Jameson Williams just had.
Jeez, man, that's crazy.
I mean,
I love Jared Goff, man.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I like Jared Goff too. I've come around on him. I used to say he sucks.
He kind of still sucks, but he doesn't suck as bad.
He's very good. I think he's exactly what the Lions need. And, I think this time around, they know what to expect this time. They're not exactly like how it was last year where they're like the Cinderella team that was so bad and now they're good. They're kind of established as one of the best teams in the NFL now. So they definitely know what to expect.
Goff Darnold trade, just overall, one of the best trades that's ever happened, in my lifetime for sports.
Yeah.
In terms of the way that it worked out for both teams, just great.
If Detroit wins the Super Bowl, he did. But Goff Stafford, we know what you meant. I think if the Lions go on to win the Super Bowl this year, it would probably be one of the best trades ever in terms of benefiting both teams.
Yeah,
they both got a Super Bowl out of it.
Careers.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, Goff having gone to the Super Bowl already, I think is what's helped him become so good here. But
if the Lions lose this game, they have a good chance of having to play the Rams again this year. Because it would be 4 versus 5. The Rams probably are the 4. So
the Bucks are the 4.
The Bucks would probably end up being the 4 if I had.
The Rams could be the 4 if they lose and the Bucks win, though.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. I wouldn't like that.
That would be a scary matchup.
Dude, both those games are tricky for Detroit.
That'd be a scary matchup for Detroit going to the Rams.
I do think this.
Also, didn't the Bucks? They had a good game with the Bucks this year too, and the Bucks almost beat them in the playoffs last year.
Bucks almost beat them in the playoffs, and the Bucks beat them this year. That's one of their only losses this year.
So I mean, that team's familiar with them, dude. I don't know if I feel so good about that one either.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's the last slate of the regular season.
Cherish it. Enjoy it.
Cherish it. Enjoy it. Stare at it. Make love to it. Kiss it on the mouth. Just like I do to Sal. All right. Pick 3, gentlemen. Sal's vein of existence. 0-3 again, Sal.
Just keep fading, man. I'm a printer if you go against me.
Antonio and I both went 3-0. So claps up for us.
It's going to be tied forever.
Since November, I've been the coldest better on the planet. There's not a colder better than me. So
yeah.
Playoffs changes everything, though, Sal.
It's true.
It's a good well, I mean, we don't do pick 3 for the playoffs. I mean, we do 1 pick usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our totals as it stands right now, me and Antonio are still tied, 28 and 23.
It's pretty good.
Sal 19 and 32.
So bad.
But
our
record is 28 and 23 for the both of us.
Dude, how many weeks have we been tied? 5?
So many.
Maybe more?
So many. I don't know if it's necessarily that many. I think you did catch up to me recently.
I'm rooting for Nolan. I want Nolan to win so bad. I really, 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 really want Nolan to win.
Is that you jinxing me?
When we used to
just put a curse on me.
We used to pick overall games and keep track of our record game to game. I think either 1 or 2 years I had the best record, but I never took home the best pick 3. I've been second most fucking years, and I think I came in third a couple times.
I know, like the first 2 years I was 1 or 2, and
Yeah.
then the last couple I've been bad. I've been 2 or 3.
I won pick 3 last year.
Yeah, that's right.
But literally, I think by like 1 game. I think I might still have it in my notes. It was either 28 or 29 picks though. That was kind of like, because remember we had like 1 game between all 3 of us.
Yes,
like,
I do.
I wonder if I could find it.
It's just crazy because I was tied with you guys 7 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Like we literally all had the same record like 2 months ago.
Yeah, for the first part of the year, we were pretty close. Antonio was actually, I think, the worst. And Antonio picked
Probably
it up.
when I started talking shit about Antonio is when I started going downhill and Antonio started winning games. Is probably what happened.
Yeah, so last year I was 28, 25 and 1. So I was 26 and 28. And Antonio was 27 and 27. So
all right there.
Pretty good.
I went like 1 and 2 every week to start off, like for the first maybe 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah. Because we're not in person. I'm blaming it on that.
That valid. That's a valid thing to put it on. I'm not mad at that.
I'll find any excuse. Don't worry.
And listen, this time next year, I promise you, we will have an in-person setup.
It's so much better in person.
It is better in person, but for this year, we had to adapt.
Like when I look across at Antonio, sometimes I know I'm making a stupid pick, and then I'll like change my pick. But now I just can't even tell what he's thinking. Like,
Antonio does like cast spells on us when we're in person.
I sat on that couch, and sometimes I just would be like, "Yeah, I like this team," and then Antonio would like give me a side eye, and I'm like, "I actually like the other team," and then he's like, "Very good."
You'd be like, "Yes, very good, very good."
Who's going first?
I don't know, Antonio. Who do you want to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay.
The Giants suck. So Philly. Such a weird game or weird week for pick 3. Oh, the Jets.
Yes.
Yes. And just because I'm an asshole, Pittsburgh.
Boo.
Oh, you put in your pick 3 though.
Oh, dude, I kind of want to put.
That might be the nail in the coffin.
I'm actually gonna take the Giants out of my pick 3, or the Eagles out of my pick 3. I'm going Chiefs, Jets, Steelers.
Wow. All right.
I might hammer Chiefs money line, dude. That might be. I don't know. I don't do game of the years. That might be my game of the year.
Wow.
Gotta have one somehow.
We might have to ride that.
Can we do an official before this podcast ends?
My first ever game of the year.
Chiefs plus 10 or Chiefs money line?
It's 9.5.
Plus 10, but take the money line, dude, if you want. I'm taking the money line.
Wow.
We'll give him just the plus 9.5.
Oh yeah, plus 10 for my
your game of the year pick is plus 9.5. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
To get the credit, they have to cover. They don't have to win. I'll give you credit if they cover.
Unless you don't want it. I don't
want the pick 3 to be to win.
No, we're saying that your game of the year is Chiefs plus 9.5.
Oh, yes. Game of the year pick is money.
Wow.
Oh, he wants the money line.
No, Jesus. Okay.
Not my pick 3.
Yes, we understand.
No, your game of the year pick, because I did the same thing where I said I don't want credit if they cover, and they did cover. I forget it was Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm a little bitch.
Yeah, don't be a bitch.
No, I'm gonna be a bitch.
Oh, so you're taking the spread?
Yeah, taking the spread.
Okay. All right, I'll go next. Dude, the mind games we're playing this pod is like.
This pod's been like an acid trip.
So we got to make it entertaining for the last regular season matchups. And it came at your expense, so I apologize.
I don't care. I suck.
All right, I'll go next. I have to do this. And I have to do it only because Antonio put Pittsburgh in his. Cincinnati -1.5.
Head to head.
I'm going to head because I feel like that is the only shot we have of Cincinnati actually winning. So I will be doing that. Number 2, give me Green Bay -9.5. I'm really confident that they can bounce back against Minnesota. What is so funny?
Because I can take Cincinnati and flip the scales so hard on
Fuck.
pick 3.
Okay, well that's
I don't
on
know
you.
if I'm doing it yet. Though.
That's on you. Green
like
Bay
fucking
-9.5. They're gonna bounce back after that loss against Minnesota, and they're gonna beat up on this sorry ass Bears team. Last but not least, Sal, we're riding. Give me the over in the Minnesota and Detroit
I knew
game.
that was coming. I actually
Over
did know that was coming.
56.5.
It's
So
awesome.
many points.
It's too good not to take, honestly.
They could put this line at 70, and I am taking it. That is my pick 3. Salvatore, take it away.
I have been miserable all season. Continue to fade me. It's still 2024. Once the calendar flips, do not fade me. But as of right now, fade my ass. I'll take, starting off, Arizona Cardinals spread, because I like the Arizona Cardinals. And I have no other logic other than I like the Arizona Cardinals. I'll take the Jets to go along with Antonio. That might help Nolan out. And last but not least, I will take the Dallas Cowboys because I feel like that is a very easy Dallas Cowboys win to make the draft position worse. Because that's the most Dallas Cowboys thing to ever do this week. That is my pick 3. Not very exciting.
So
Been
I
a
gotta
bad
say,
year.
out of like your last few weeks where you haven't like been the best, I think you have taken Arizona like every single week.
You gotta just eventually they cover, right?
Eventually they cover.
I only take Arizona the weeks they don't cover, but the weeks they do cover, I don't take them in the pick 3. It's just crazy.
So he's chasing the dragon.
Yeah. It has to hit red.
I actually kind of want to go and look back. So I think you took him last week. Oh no, you didn't
If
take
I
him
took-
last week.
Yeah, if I took them last week, they covered. So no.
Let's see. You took him the week before.
Didn't cover.
You also take Atlanta a lot, I'm noticing. You took them 2 weeks before that.
Didn't cover.
You took them. Let's see. Maybe I haven't taken them as much as I thought, but I feel like you take them every week.
Oh,
Like that was the last time you went 3-0 was week 10. So from week 10 on,
horrible. It's been 2 months. It's literally legit been 2 months.
1-2, 0-3, 0-3, 1-2. It's good that I kept track of this the whole time because I like actually looking at this. And then 0-3. Oh, and then you went 2-1 last week, and then or the week before, and then 0-3 last week.
So the 1 week I wasn't on the pod in the last 2 months, I did good. Other than that, I've just gotten shit on.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
You did say it was like not being on the pod would have been good for you.
I thought it was a good reset, and then I came back with an 0-3 once I came back.
Reset nothing. I will give it up to you, Sal. I do
Touchdown
think it's
score?
that we're not in person.
I'm blaming it on that. That's my top out.
I think that's a valid point.
I got a touchdown score.
Let's hear it.
Devontae Adams is catching Aaron Rodgers' 500th touchdown this weekend.
So, because that's so obvious, Alan Lazard is going to catch Aaron Rodgers' 500th touchdown.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin is going to catch Aaron Rodgers.
Or Garrett Wilson, and then Garrett Wilson's going to give it to a fan.
Garrett Wilson's going to punt it. He's going to punt it into the stands.
My actual touchdown score is TJ Hawkinson in that late night game.
Hawk.
My touchdown score is Saquon Barkley.
Very nice.
If he plays. If he doesn't play, by some sense of the word, I will be taking Mike Gesicki.
Ooh. Okay.
That's only if
Very
Saquon
nice.
does not play.
Antonio, you're going to get your haircut? Do you want to look all cute for later?
I'm not. I still kind of want to grow it. It's just like it needs to be cleaned
Trimmed
up.
a little.
Yeah, on the sides and on the back.
Need to tame the mane.
Party in the or business in the front, party in the back.
We'll see. I might in a week. I might be like, this is stupid, and then just go back and be like, all right.
No. What's Nolan doing? Are you doing at Jimmy's?
I don't think we're going to Jimmy's anymore.
Staying on?
Yeah, Taylor doesn't feel well, so we might just have like people over, but it's gonna be more of like chill
Okay.
vibes. Yeah.
No. Think me and Antonio might make out later. Will you kiss me at 12, Antonio?
Yeah,
Made
kind of
Nolan
what I
jealous.
expect at Allen's.
I'd be
Like
so
we're gonna
jealous.
be in that like apartment. It's not gonna be anything crazy.
I mean, I don't think I wasn't expecting it to be crazy, but I don't know. We'll see.
You have to make out with Sal at 12 though, and video
Yeah,
it
we'll send you
and send it to me, please.
If you kiss me at 12, all of your picking powers go to me though. So I win.
Oh, he's got a point there. Sal's
you
gonna
better
be
not-
like, if you actually do it, Sal's gonna be like the best playoff.
I need to have a
He's
good
literally
playoff.
just gonna go like so crazy in the playoffs. He's gonna make so much money. But
see.
Antonio said he hasn't been great this year either, though.
Well, in games he bet for the first 6 weeks, he was horrible.
You've been better recently, though.
Yeah, but the last 2 weeks have sucked.
For literally like the for
You
like
just gotta
the
bet
first
your
6
pick
weeks,
3.
For like the first 6 weeks, Antonio would bet on a team and then they would lose, and he'd be like, "Fuck!" And then he's like, "I'm not gonna bet on this team, but I like this team." And then that
I
team
know.
would
Well, I didn't. I probably didn't bet from like week 5 to like week 11.
Yeah,
Like, I took like 5 weeks off. I had no interest.
yeah.
That Atlanta-Washington game really fucked me.
That was tough. That was really tough.
That would have put me like top 20 probably in that leaderboard for Clubhouse for the work thing. I had a bet. It was like $40 to win 250. It was Washington plus 3.5 or Atlanta plus 3.5. The over and Alameda Zacchaeus 3.5 over 3.5 receptions. Which Zacchaeus had like we were watching Sal. He had like 4 receptions like the first first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, in the first 2 drives he had 4 catches.
The over hit
and
going into overtime.
Atlanta misses a field goal and then gives up a touchdown drive, the first drive of overtime. So thank you.
So the ending really screwed me, but it's okay because it was fun. It was
you
a
had
good
fun.
game.
You won.
It was a good game. All right, well, I gotta go take a shit. So
Merry New Year, everyone.
New Year.